have any questions, you can just, type it here in the comment section, and then we'll try to get through the questions. Today, I'm just going to focus on the questions. I'll just say some important things that I said in the last live for those people who have not applied, and then we'll go ahead and just take questions. And then after that, we'll see what we can do. So we're going to start, and I'm just going to review stuff that we talked about last time. And then I'm going to go to the post that I did on my YouTube, and then we'll pull questions from there, and then we'll go from there. Let's start on the questions. First, let me talk about important things. First is your picture. Make sure your picture meets requirements. If you don't know what I mean, then go to my videos. I did like 100 videos just talking about photos because I know that's important. Use a photo tool. I can do, if I get time, I'm going to do that at the end of the video. So we'll do a photo tool so you know how to edit your photos. If you don't know, like you can put it and crop it there. That crops it, but then don't use it to check if your picture meets requirements. Just use it to crop the picture to appropriate dimensions. Okay. Number one, after you check your photos, make sure they are good. Go to eligibility. The question about eligibility is important. You claim eligibility from the country of birth, where you are born. So don't claim anywhere else, because you might win the green card, and if you go to the embassy, they will deny you a visa because you claim the wrong eligibility. That's why it's important, because with that, it waits until the last minute when you have your interview and everything, and then they tell you you can't get this visa because you claimed you are Ugandan and you're Kenyan. So the only reason or the only time that you don't claim eligibility from the country of birth is if maybe you're from Nigeria, you're from India, you're from this country, Iran, these countries that do not qualify. So in that case, then if you're married to somebody, like if you're Nigerian and you're married to a Kenyan, you can apply for the green card lottery and claim eligibility from your wife, country of birth. So you'll claim eligibility from Kenya if you don't qualify. The second thing is if you have kids, if you're a kid born in India. So for example, a Kenyan family goes to India for treatment, goes to India as tourists or whatever, and then they happen to give birth to a kid in India. They're not Indian, but then their kid was born in India. So this kid is not eligible to apply. But then the kid can apply and claim eligibility from the Kenyan parents, because both parents are not from India. But if one of the parents is from India, then no. But then if both parents are from somewhere else, and then you just happen to be born in a country that's not eligible, then you can claim eligibility based off of that country. So that's number two about eligibility. The third thing, make sure you add your kids. Guys, if your kids are in school, make sure you take their picture and then you add your kids. Because if you win in your DS260, if you add those kids, you'll be disqualified. You won't get a visa because you lied in your initial application. Add your children. We're talking about biological children. We're talking about adopted kids. So if you adopted kids, legally you have papers to show that you adopted these kids, then you can add them. Also step kids. If you're married to somebody who has kids, you don't need to adopt them. You can just add those kids to your application. So just make sure you're adding all those kids. And adoption, like if you took care of your nephew, your niece, maybe the parents died and you're the sole caregiver or you're the guardian, as long as you don't have adoption papers, you cannot add them. Make sure you add them if you have adoption papers only. Okay, another thing is the marital status. Make sure you're selecting correct marital status. So for example, if you've lived with somebody for 30 years, you have 10 children, and you just to show that you're married, you cannot add them. You cannot apply as married. Make sure you apply as married, either if you have a marriage certificate or if your country allows traditional marriages, and then you have affidavit of marriage or whatever they call it in your country, then you can add your wife. If you're unmarried, don't be afraid. Just apply as unmarried. If you win, you can marry her or him and then add them to your DS260. So it's not like if you apply and then you win, what happens? If you win, you just get married. And then because you have kids to show, so your relationship is going to be easy to prove because you've been living together, right? So after, if you apply as unmarried, you end up winning, you can still add them and immigrate with them. Another thing, email address. Guys, email address. I can't insist this enough. Make sure the email address that you use is you who opened it. Don't let the cyber guy open an email address for you, because they can change the password, and then if you win, then guess what? You win, and then they're like, give us 100,000 before we give you a confirmation number. You don't want that. And for those people who applied and they said they lost the confirmation number or whatever, something happened to the confirmation number, do not worry about it. Because when the results come out in May, you can actually go to the website as long as you have the email address that you used to apply. If you have that email address, you'll be able to retrieve your confirmation number. That's why I insist you open the email address so you have access to the password and everything. So in case you lose your confirmation number, you can go ahead and retrieve it. Otherwise, you're at the mercy of your cyber guy. Okay, a lot of people are asking, how old do you have to be to apply? There's no age limit. You just need high school, and then you need, if you don't have high school, you have work experience. Some people think they need both. You do not need both. If you have high school in Kenya, I think they only need a D something. So you don't have to go like score A's or whatever. They don't care about that. So if you have like a D and then you completed high school, even if you've never worked a single day of your life, but you have high school, that is enough to qualify. Work experience is for the people who did not complete high school. So if you did not complete your high school, then you probably need the work experience. So that's about it. So that's why people are like, okay, how old do you have to be to apply? You can apply at any age as long as you have either of those requirements. So can a 17-year-old, 18-year-old apply when they are still in Form 4? Yes, they can. When I applied for my brother for the green card lottery, he was in Form 4. So after he won, he had already finished and got the results. So when he went to the embassy, he had the results for the Form 4. So if you are 17, 18, whatever, going forward, if you are less than 21, you can have 2 applications. How can you do that? Because your parents can apply and add you, and you also can place your own application. So you have 2 of them. Another thing, like when you can have 2 applications, is if you're married, the husband will apply and then, add the wife, and then the wife can apply and add the husband. So that way you have 2 applications. If not, everybody has to place one and only application. If you do 2 applications, you get disqualified. So don't apply and then say, okay, maybe I forgot and typed my last name wrong, so I'm going to go ahead and apply again. You'll be disqualified. And then also, if you apply and you made a mess, maybe you put your last name as your middle name or whatever, do not worry about that. Because in your DS260, you can correct that. There are mistakes that you can correct. Like if you switched your names, or maybe instead of typing Nafula, I put G Nagula or something like that, you can fix in your DS260. So that you should be able to do. So I'm going to go to the questions that, those are just the important thing. I'm going to go to the questions that were asked in the post, and then we'll go to the questions that you guys are currently asking right now. About hosting, I know a lot of people have inquiries about hosting. Unless you won the green card lottery and you applied through my website, I will not share any information about hosting. Because why do you want to know? You didn't win the green card lottery. You're not interested in hosting. So why do you want to know? So you don't need that information. So usually after you win the green card lottery, you apply through the website. And then after you apply through the website, we'll contact you. And then we set up hosting. And then with the hosting, like I said, I have over 250 green card lottery applicants who need hosting. I have over 300 applications in total because I have visitors visa, people asking about visitors visa, student visa, work visa, if they can get hosting from me. I don't host anybody other than the DV lottery because I already have over 250 applications for DV lottery winners. So I don't have space for those people, so I can't accommodate somebody with a visitor's visa. So for hosting, you apply, and it's a lot of people. So I will get in touch with you when you're almost going to the embassy, because the people who won in DV 2024, they reached out to me already. I already gave their address to put in the DS260. I don't have any other address for right now to give you if you haven't completed your DS260. So the people who already gave their address, if maybe your number is like, 2000 and you're currently over there, you already received your 2NL or whatever, I already reached out to you, so you're already set. So if your number is like 50,000 or 60,000, I'm not going to get back to you when your interview is next year, maybe in September. you have a long time. So we have a long time to wait. So I haven't gotten back to you. People are just bombarding me with the emails. I understand, you're anxious, you're whatever, but I won't talk to you until you're almost going to the embassy to set up hosting. Because if I set up hosting for you now, how do I know I'm going to have availability in September? I won't. Because there's some people who are, signing up to be hosts. So I have those people as well. So I have to make sure, like everybody, I don't want to like schedule hosting when I don't have anywhere to put you. I like to do things the right way. I want to keep everybody, make sure like everybody is satisfied. So I will contact you when I have hosting and I have everything arranged. And like I said, even if I send you to a different state, like maybe you're going to Illinois to a stranger, or you're going to Chicago, or you're going to whatever, when you come here, usually I advise you have at least some money somewhere. In case that host doesn't host you or doesn't show up at the airport, you can come to me. So I always have a room separate in case your host misbehaves. It has never happened, but then if it does, don't worry about that. If NAFULA got you from Africa, I'll make sure you have a place to stay and you have a job and everything. So once I get a hold of you, I hold your hand, it's going to be until you get a job here. Okay, so some people ask, what do you need to apply? You probably already figured that out. You only need your picture and your email address. You don't need anything else. You don't need to upload birth certificate, marriage certificate. You don't need all that. You just need your photo ID, not photo ID. I'm getting confused. You just need a photo that meets requirements, and then you need an email. That's all you need to place an application successfully. And I'll upload a video tomorrow in case you haven't applied, so you can see how it's done. Okay. Some people have asked, like, okay, I have 3 children. I have three different baby daddies. All the kids have separate last names. It's okay to apply with the last name that the baby has. So they don't look at, all of you have to have, the same surname if you're married. No, you can have everybody, you, husband, all the kids can have different surnames. It's okay. If a kid has 2 names, one name should be the first name, the other name should be the last name. Because here everybody has a first name and the last name. So if the kid has 2 names, one goes in the first name, the other one goes in the last name. Okay, I already say do not enter 2 times. You can also use, to apply, you can use your phone or you can use your computer. I uploaded a video because I was having a problem with my Chrome. I tried to update it, but still doesn't work. So Google Chrome will not let me put in an application. It won't let me select like gender, all that stuff that you need to click on, gender, education, marriage. It won't let me select. So I corrected that by using Safari. You can use Mozilla. You can use Microsoft Edge. You can use Internet Explorer. I don't know if it still exists, but you can use another search engine, Opera, whatever search engine you can use that allows you to click, because don't submit an application without clicking those. It's important. So if you're having a problem clicking gender and all that, switch your search engine. Okay. What else? I talked about missing a name on your DS260. And then the photo tool, people are asking, how do I crop a picture? You can find that in my other videos. I did a whole video on photo tool, so you can do that. Another question is like, I want the DV lottery 2024. Should I apply? The answer is yes. If you do not live in the United States as a citizen, you don't live here as a permanent resident, if you don't have a US visa for your green card already, make sure you put in another application. You saw what happened last year with those people who went DV 2023. They were scheduled for the interview. They showed up at the gate. They're like, all the interviews are canceled. So now what? So winning a green card does not guarantee that you'll get a visa. So that's why it's important. If you want DV lottery 2024, place your own application. If you're a student in the United States, place your own application. Because if you are maybe on F1, J1, or whatever visa, if you place an application and then you win and you're in the United States, you don't need to go back to Africa to change, to get a green card. You can adjust your status while in the United States. If you're a visitor, or you're here on visitor's visa, you're on any other visa, make sure you place the application. You can change your status depending on the duration of your stay. If you're a visa, business visa, 6 months, you'll not be able to do that because it takes a year before you even get your 2NL and all that. So you won't be able to adjust your status here. But if you're here as a student, like, you're an F1, you're here for 4 years, 5 years, you just have to, adjust your status here. So do not be afraid, place your application. placing an application does not affect your future non-immigrant visas. That happens after you file your DS-260. So if you win and then you file DS-260 and you want to apply as a visitor, probably you will have a problem getting a visa because you already expressed immigrant intent. You already showed that I really, really want to go there and live there by filing the DS-260. So that already like kind of disqualifies you for the visa because you've expressed immigrant intent. Another thing that I was asked by somebody, I've had like 4 people ask me, is about disability. So, you know, there's people who are differently abled. I don't like to call them disabled. I call them differently abled. So if like, you know, you have somebody who's disabled and then they apply and win the green card lottery. Here, they don't discriminate on anything. So if you have like HIV, you have whatever disease you have, as long as it's not communicable, like TB and all that, syphilis and stuff like that, you cannot be discriminated against. You'll get a visa. If you're disabled, it's different depending on your embassy. Because if you're disabled, there's something called public charge. Like if you win the green card lottery, you have to prove that you're not going to be a public charge to the United States. What does that mean? So some people come here and then they get on food stamps, housing assistance. So you apply through the government because you can't work to give you free food, free housing, free everything. USA, they don't like that. So if you're disabled, you have to prove that you can work. And, you know, like you don't have to work, like, you know, work physically. You can be like, you know, you're good with computers. Maybe you're a computer scientist or you do something, you're a programmer, you know, you're disabled, but you can do something that helps you earn money so that you're not a public charge. And also, like, if to go around that, sometimes you can get an affidavit of support. An affidavit of support is somebody, you know, like the one I gave Geoffrey, but Geoffrey is not disabled. But then if he was, or if he were, then I'll give it to him. He goes to the embassy. It's like, you know what? NAFULA said he's going to support me while I'm there. So that's where you'll get a visa because they know NAFULA is in charge of you while in the United States. But if you're disabled and you're not able to work, you don't have a affidavit of support, sometimes you might have a problem at the embassy because they're like, who's going to take care of you? How do you need to prove that you're not going to be a public charge in the United States? So that's all the people who are differently able can apply. But then just keep that in mind that you will need somebody here to file a affidavit of support, or you have a lot of money back home that proves that, you know what, you are going to be able, like if somebody from Saudi Arabia, those people are moneyed, I can tell you right now. So those people, like, you know, they, you know, send bank statements and you're like, whoa, is this money? Is this real? You know? So if you have that kind of money and, you know, you have a child who's disabled and, you know, like not disabled, like, you know, complete, like have caregivers and stuff like that, but disabled, but then they can do something, you know, they can be able to take care of themselves. They'll be able to get a visa because you can prove using your bank statement that you have too much money, or affidavit of support, or I'm a computer scientist and when I go there, I know my skill will help you earn money. So they don't discriminate against disabled. If you have HIV, don't worry about that. In fact, if they tell you something like, okay, you won't get a visa because of HIV, you can sue them because America, you're not allowed to discriminate anybody based on medical conditions. Only a few, and I already talked about those on my channel previously. And then I already said, who can you add to your application? You can add your spouse, you can add kids, biological, adopted, and step kids. All right, so let me go to your questions here. Let me see. Somebody's asking, hi Nafula, is it true that it's not easy to win if you have a large family? No, that's not true because this is a random selection. So as long as you have, the reason why people say that is because all those pictures need to meet requirements. So if you're adding 10 people, all the 10 photos need to meet requirements versus just the one picture. So if you have other people, like maybe your picture is good and then the rest of the pictures do not meet requirement, you might be disqualified based on these other pictures. So that's why people think like, you know, with a large family, you won't be able to win. You will win. It's a random selection as long as you have appropriate pictures and all that. Okay, so let's see here. So here, what do I put on the mailing address on the application, number 8? So let me save this towards the end, and then I'm just going to do a demonstration. I'll pull up the application and do like different mailing addresses. So just remember before I sign out so that I can do the mailing address. We can do this at the end. Okay, let's see. People have already submitted their applications, which is really, really good. Make sure you share my videos with your friends, family, on your social media. Somebody, like I told you that I won the green card. The first time I won the green card, I found out on Facebook, somebody posted the link. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. What is this thing that's being posted, green card, you know? And I looked into it. It was on Facebook, and I clicked on it. It was just a friend on Facebook. And then I applied and I won. So you don't know, like by posting on your social media about the green card, you might be helping somebody. So make sure you share with your family. African people, especially when they find something they don't like to share with other people. They get a job. If they get a job, they come to the United States. You ask them, hey, Nafula, how did you go to the United States? They're like, prayer. I prayed. You know, God opened doors. Yeah, God opened doors, but I want to know those doors where they're located, right? So make sure like you don't just tell people it's God. I know it's God, but then there's something that you did that God was involved, and then you got here. So make sure you share that information. Don't say prayer. You won't pray and then you get a visa. You have to file the DS-260 or file the DS-160 and come on non-immigrant or immigrant. So make sure you share how you made it. You didn't start with $10 and then now you're a millionaire and then you're claiming it's God. There's something you did in the middle that we as African people, we should learn to share with other people. Okay, let's see. I had a question, somebody asking about like if they're making 200,000 Kenyan shillings, how much is that? That's like $2,000 maybe a month. Like if it's worth it to come here, it just depends on you, like, you know, what you want to do. Some people come here for the opportunity, you know. You come here because maybe you want to go to school. You come here, you want to get more money and invest back home. So it depends on the reason to come here. If you don't want to come here, then don't, because you'll just be frustrated. So just come here. Like I said, I was doing very well in Kenya. I came as a student. I decided to stick around because let me tell you, when you go to the U.S. Embassy in Kenya, that place, I don't know, like the vibe, everybody's like terrified. You sit and people are scared, you know. So I went there, and then my, I don't know, I came, it was I-20, and then something about I-120, it wasn't registering or whatever. So I had to go to the embassy like 4 times before I eventually got the visa, because every time I went there, they told me it's not in. And I'm telling you, it was so stressful. I hate to say this, you're not supposed to say it on live video probably, but after I got my visa to come to the US, I said, I will never come back to this embassy. Nairobi embassy, I will never come back here. I don't know what I need to do, but I will never come back here. And I ended up with a green card. So it worked, but if you want to go back there, that's good for you. But for me, I was like, the torture that I had in those 3 days, that anxiety, I didn't want to go through that again. Now I come there with my passport, American passport, I just fly back without going through the embassy. Okay, let's see. So this is Swahili, Tanzania. So pretty much they're asking, like, you know, if somebody is studying diploma in Africa, what level of education do they have to select? So if you're like unsure, this is how I put it. With the embassy, when you go to the embassy, everything you enter, you'll have to provide proof, right? So if like I doubt, like, you know, I have a degree, but I don't know, like if I go to the university, will they give me the transcript? Maybe I have a fear balance there. Will they give me the transcript? If you have that kind of situation, always select high school, because high school, NEC will just send the results, right? Because you go request for the results, they will send the results. But then for other things, like if you have a diploma, you have a certificate, you have CPA, you have whatever, they will need you to prove, and then sometimes they need it certified. So you're just making more work for you. If you can just say high school degree, you're good. I tell like most of my people, like, you know, just select high school, because the only thing they will ask you is your high school certificate, diploma, or degree. Here they call it high school degree. This is the easiest thing to do. If you're unsure, complete high school. Whatever you do, if you don't want a lot of work to go to those institutions trying to find proof or anything, select high school. Because if you go there high school, they won't tell you like, oh, you need to bring your degree, because you didn't put degree there. So they're not interested in that. They're just like, oh, you said you're in high school. Where is your high school? Okay, here. What have you been doing after high school? You're like, I've been doing this, this, this. But then as long as you have high school, you already qualify under high school. They don't care about your degree. So Ali, kama umefanya diploma, lazima unajaza high school. Chuo cha si chuo cha upili, right? Chuo cha upili, right? Chuo cha upili, secondary, yeah, secondary. Chuo cha secondary. Ile form 4 umefanya, ama kama umemaliza secondary, hiyo ndio utaweza weka hapa. Sababu ukiweka diploma, utaulizwa uende kwa hizo chuo zenye umesoma diploma, utume hizo makaratasi. So kama hauna hiyo makaratasi, utakuwa na shida. So kwa chuo cha upili, ile certificate umefanya kabla umalize, hiyo ndio utaitishwa. Kama ni Tanzania, nafikiri ni form 6. Kama uko na cheti cha form 6, ulifanya form 4, form 6, Jaza umemaliza high school degree. Okay, let's go to the other one. And then this one, the background of your photo, you know, they say, you know, the super wide, replace it by that of other website. You know, the thing is, if you look at the photos sometimes that have been edited to change the background, it looks a little bit off. Like if you take a picture with a white background and then you take a picture on a blue background and then you put it in front of a white background, like there's something that's a little bit off, unless somebody like is a professional that you cannot tell. But sometimes like you can tell. But on the website, it says the picture taken with a white background. It doesn't say that the picture needs to have a white background. It says taken with a white background. And a lot of people, like I said, like the 3 that I talked to here, they took with a white background. I did with a white background. My brother took a picture with a white background. So I don't know about if you alter the background, if it makes a difference or not. Okay, so I encourage you to just take a picture with a white background. And then this one is a very good question. Do you have to add your American children too? You don't have to. Like if your spouse is a U.S. citizen or you have kids who are U.S. citizens, you don't have to add them. Why? Because they don't need the visa. They already permanent residents or they already have like, you know, citizenship in the U.S. So you will not be immigrating with them. They're already immigrants here. So you do not need to add them. You just add the ones who are not citizens and the ones who, you know, they're not like, they don't have anything to do with permanent resident or the citizens in United States. That's a good question. All right. This one I already answered. Apart from DV lottery, can I apply for student visa? Yeah, when you apply for DV lottery, you can apply for student visa. It won't affect unless you win and file DS-260. Then that's when, like, you know, applying for non-immigrant visa can have an impact. They will ask you questions like, okay, you're already saying your DS-260, you want to go to stay in America. Then what changes? Like, what made you change your mind? Stuff like that. But applying doesn't do anything. They won't even ask you anything about applying. And if they ask, you know, you didn't express immigrant intent. You just applied for it. So that's not expressing immigrant intent. Okay, let's see. So you see, this is sad. So I think Hilda won DV 2023, but then, you know, they submitted the DS-260 late, and then they lost the chance. Yeah, that's why there's the importance of like applying, even if you won the green card lottery, make sure you apply, because winning a green card lottery does not guarantee that you'll get a visa. If you have a visa, do not apply for it. But if you do not have a visa, if you've been scheduled for the embassy to go for the interview, make sure this year place another application. All right. And then this one is like, is it advisable to send DV lottery photo via WhatsApp? So with WhatsApp, the thing you have to understand is, regardless of how you send your picture, when you receive that picture, check the properties and see if they are the same. So if somebody send you like you know, a send you like, you know, it was a JPEG image, and then you receive it as a PNG, then you know, like, you need to change the format. If they change you, maybe it was 600 by 600, by the time it gets to it's 800 by 800, you need to change it back to 600 to 600. So once you receive it, make sure you check the properties and see if they're still the same. If not, you have to edit it and make sure like they meet requirements. But then the best thing, I think I send, like a lot of them I send through email. I just send it as an email attachment and then you download it. Maybe that helps. But that's how I do my photos. So this one is about when did you apply, like which day. The day doesn't matter. Geoffrey applied on the 21st. Elia applied 2 days a day. The date was closing. Juma applied the last week in November. Some people apply the first day, middle, like it doesn't matter. It's a random selection. So any day you can place your application, you should be fine. It's like a lottery, you know? So like when you enter, then the draw is run, like if it's your time to win, you'll win regardless of the day you applied. All right, let's see. So when your picture meets requirements, are you supposed to scan it before you upload it? No. So it has to be a digital image, like is in the computer. It's like not a physical picture. If you have to, this brings me to another thing. Some people are asking about the DPI. DPI, like, you know, I'm not going to go deep into it because I do a lot of research, so I know some stuff that I didn't go to school for. But then, like, you know, DPI, like, so it's pixels per inch. So on the website, it says 300 pixels per inch. And then some people think the digital image has to be that. It doesn't. So DPI, pretty much, that's the quality of the picture. You know, like when you see an image, some is blurry and the other one is not blurry. It's just difference in resolution. So when you're scanning your image, maybe you have an image that's in a picture and you're scanning it, you have to scan it at 300 pixels per inch. But then when you have the digital image, it doesn't need to be 300 pixels per inch. Like most of the people, they want 72 pixels per inch is pretty good image, like if it's a digital image. So it doesn't need to be 300 after it's a digital image. It needs to be 300 if you're scanning in. And even it says on the website, 300 pixels per inch scanned image. Like if you go on the website, if you're scanning it. So after it's scanned, you don't need to change it to 300. And if you haven't done anything, this information is very useless. So this is for the people who ask, because they dig into a lot of stuff. As long as your image is good, it's good. Don't dig, because once you dig in, then you get more confused. So if you already applied or whatever information I just gave is useless. You are able to apply. Don't worry about DPI. Okay. Let's see. So my question is, I have applied as unmarried about... So this one is like, they applied as unmarried because the wife is underage. Like how underage are they? Are they like 12? I don't know. But then, you know, it depends with the laws in your country. So if you apply as unmarried, then you can't add your wife. But if you apply as unmarried, make sure, you know, she applies and places her own application. So if you apply as unmarried, if you win, if she's underage, you're not gonna, I don't think you can marry her, because here I think there's a legal age to marry. So I have never had this question before, because other countries, like, you know, a 12-year-old, which is absolutely crazy, they can get married. But here in America, you'll be put in jail, like if you are in a relationship with an underage. So if you win and you include her, I don't know how that's gonna work because she's underage. I don't know how. I wish you know, we had like, you know, a rough estimate what age, because if they are like 18, you should probably be fine. But if you're like 12 or 13, that's like, that's not good. Whatever country they're doing that, like, just leave, let a kid go to school, let a kid be a kid. Why are you marrying a 13-year-old? Like, surely, seriously, you know, that's abuse. But that's my opinion on it. Okay, let's see. Let me see. Any questions? I think I've gone through. This one is the mistake on the address. I wrote 34 instead of PO box. Yeah, usually it's not a big issue. Like with the address is not a big thing. Like, you know, selecting wrong marriage, wrong eligibility. You'll be randomly selected. That's fine. This one and the city of birth and whatever, it doesn't matter. You'll put stuff there and it just, some people win. So I don't think it's a big deal. But I'll show you how to complete it. All right, let's see. Let me see. Let me go to my YouTube post and see if I can find some questions from there. Okay. Because I remember I posted that I'll be live. So let me see if they have questions over there. Okay. Somebody asked about completed high school and they are wondering where will they get work experience. I said either you need high school or you need work experience. So you don't need both. If you have high school, period, even if you've never worked a day of your life, you'll get a visa. Those people who need work experience are the people who never went to high school. Okay, let's see another one. So somebody said they have B1, B2 visa and planning to come to the United States in December. Can they fill the DV lottery? Yes, you can apply. So if you have another visa application, applying for the DV lottery does not do anything with the other visas. After you win and file a DS-260, that's when that's going to have an impact. Let's see. Somebody is asking, if for those people who are married with kids, I said I'm not, hosting people with kids. There's people who sign up as hosts on my website that host kids. So I'll try to connect you with those people. But me, myself, I don't host people with kids. Even I don't host a spouse, because I try to maximize people who want the green card so they can come here. If you come here, you can get your wife here. If you come here, you can get your kids here. But if maybe somebody, I don't give that chance to a DV lottery winner. If they don't come here, their chance is gone forever. So usually I maximize. I try to help as many green card lottery winners, principal applicants. Once they get here, I know they can help their family. But if you're coming here, you want me to host 5 people from the same family, I'm not going to do that. It's expensive for one. And also you're denying, if I host 5 people from the same family, you're denying 4 people who I could have hosted who won the green card lottery to help 5 families instead of just helping the one. All right, let's see. Somebody's asking on the hosting. I don't see a place where you can apply for hosting for B1, B2. I don't host even an immigrant visa. I don't host even green card lottery. Green card holders who are not DV lottery. Mine is purely DV lottery, purely DV lottery. I'm not trying to be, I don't have enough room, and, I'm just doing this out of just helping people, desire to help people. Like I said, I did it for my family. My mom came here on a visitor's visa. I was a citizen. I filed green card for her. So she's here as a permanent resident. She's going to be a citizen this year. My brother, I applied for green card for him and he came here and then, he's a citizen here. So what I'm saying is I helped my family and I've seen how impact I've made in my own family. It helped me because I was sending money every month. So now I don't do that every month because they're here. At least they have the opportunity. So that what I'm saying is I want to give an opportunity for somebody out there. If you win a green card lottery, most of the people who win, even from my village, they're poor. So I know if I bring one person here, they'll go back and help their people back there. Some people don't, but then at least I'm going to make an impact in that family. So I don't do visitor's visa because if you're coming on a visitor visa, first you're rich because you have a way of coming over here. So I can't give you a space versus a poor person who won the green card lottery. I know I don't want to sound harsh, but I like helping poor people because I was there before. If I have a affidavit of support and I have somebody from Saudi Arabia sending me bank statement, wants to pay 5,000 for it, I'm not going to give that person. I'll give somebody from Africa who doesn't have anything because I know I'm changing this person's life. You with your Dubai money, you're still balling over there. This person, they're sleeping hungry. I just try to help people that I can make an impact, not somebody who just, is luxury for them. Somebody is asking about COVID-19 vaccination. That's mandatory for right now. If you win a green card lottery, you go through the Nairobi embassy, you need your COVID vaccine with your medical. So if you don't want to get your COVID vaccine, then it's okay. Then you won't get the visa. But then I don't understand, like, African people who are like, oh, I don't want to get a COVID vaccine. I don't want to get this. Dude, when I was growing up in primary school, you guys who grew up in Africa, you know this. You go to school in the morning, they vaccinate all of you in the school. You go back home, your parents don't even know what you are given, what vaccination, what side effects, whatever. And look at me. Nobody died. I'm still here talking to you. So trust me, COVID vaccine is not going to be a big deal if you got vaccines that you had no idea where they came from. Okay. Somebody's like, they're from Nepal and they're working in Qatar. Can they apply from there? Yes, you can apply in Qatar. You can put your mailing address as there. If you win, you can either process your visa in Qatar, or if you want to go back to Nepal, depending on how the two embassies are performing, then you have that option. Okay. And then somebody's like, they were filling the application today, but then the gender section, they were not able to select. I already explained that what changed the search engine. I used Google Chrome, didn't work. I went back to Safari and it worked for me. Somebody omitted a letter on the surname. That can be fixed in your DS260. So if you win, just put the correct names on your DS260 before you submit. Okay, let me see. Okay, I think that's the questions I have. And then somebody also asked, like, if I didn't add my kids during the application, can I bring them? You might be able to do that, but then I said you have to stay on the good side of the law, because once you do something wrong legally, they will investigate you where you even born. Like, American people will dig into stuff that you'll be surprised, like, oh, I did that, So you'll always have a target on your back. You're like, what if somebody finds out? And then if they find out and then I get deported because I lied, you're bringing kids here, or somebody, like I said, refugees who come here, say that they're running away from something, and then after they're here, they go back to the country that they were running away from, and they apply for citizenship. They're like, oh, so if you're running away from this country, why did you go back and you didn't die? So it means it's not a risk anymore. So in America, you just be aware they like to investigate. Like, once you do something wrong, you'll bring them here, nobody cares. But then once you do something, and it happens, sometimes you might be driving and then you get into an accident and you're on the wrong, you just like out of it. Stuff happens. So just try to tell the truth. America is good when you tell the truth, about everything, and be yourself. I feel like the reason why, like, I'm doing very well, I've got favor, like, with a lot of people, a lot of companies, like, the people who win the green card lottery, I just go to these big companies, I talk to the manager, they know me, I'm like, they need a job, they get a job. I get that because I'm authentic. Like, I go there, I'm like, I'm an African. I don't go there like, I'm an American, this is what I do. No, I go there, I'm like, what? I'm an African. We suffer back home. And I have these people who are from suffering and they need help. They need a job. They need this. And people, like, even the brands, I'm so thankful, for all of you, people who followed me. I'm so thankful because I'm working with a lot of brands, like big brands that I don't say on video. That's why I'm able to purchase these houses and stuff. But the reason why they work with me, because I'm authentic. I'm NAFULA. I'm African. I'm always Kenyan first before I'm an American. I know I'm an American citizen, but I'm a Kenyan first, because the Kenyan part is what got me to where I am right now. The reason why I have an accent, they're like, okay, you have an accent and we like that because it shows that you're authentic. So if this brand is working with me, they're like, okay, you are bringing diversity. They like diversity. So why should I come here and be like, I don't speak Swahili, Speaking Swahili is what's getting me these brands, because they know that I'm authentic. I bring diversity. When I went to school, nursing school, I got a scholarship. And why did I get a scholarship? Diversity. I represent diversity in that school. I was smart. I was getting A's. It's not like I was just getting like, a scholarship like that. But then there were students getting A's as well. But they picked me because as much as I'm getting a 4.0, I'm also an African. So being African in American is a good thing. Don't try to come here and change yourself and try to act American. Being African is good. It will get you a lot of things and it will bring you to a lot of places that you've never been. I've known that because I'm living it right now. So believe me. Okay, let's see. And then, should I fill it with capital letters or small letters? It doesn't matter. People fill with capital letters, they won. Small letters, they won. So it doesn't matter. As long as the information there is correct, they don't care about the letter case. Okay. So this one is like the highest level is high school, but I have a university degree. No, they won't investigate you. Why will they investigate you? If you apply, you just say university degree. They just need high school. So if you say, maybe you say you have high school and you do not have high school, like you did not complete high school, that works against you because you lied. And that's like, something that makes you like, is part of like qualification. So if you do not have high school and you say you have high school, then is a problem. But then if you say maybe you have high school, but you have university degree, that's still okay, because guess what? You have high school, what they require. I have a lot of people who went to the embassy, say they have high school degree, and then, they had university, and then they're like, oh, okay, because you can be like, university, I wasn't cleared at that time. I didn't know if I was going to be cleared, because the universities in Kenya, I'm telling you, I had like a joint admission board, like, sometimes they were giving people help and stuff. Those people, I'm telling you, and university clearing and all that, it's a long process, and I completely understand that. That's why I'm saying, like, if you know you're going to have a problem clearing with the university, say high school, because when you show up, they won't ask you for a university degree because they don't know it exists. But then if you put it there, then you have to provide proof. Okay, let's see. And then also some people are asking, okay, how can we help? There's some people out there who are like, you know what? We know you're hosting green card lottery winners. How can we help? So if you want to donate, you can go to my website, nafulaconnect.com. Let me see, I think it's over here. Let's see. Yeah, there, nafulaconnect.com. It says you can donate there. If you want to send me super thanks, like if you like my content and you feel like, you can support by sending super thanks, then you can send like super thanks on YouTube. Also, like if you want to like, send Cash App, I'll put my Cash App here, because it's a lot, I buy a house, like the house where the 3 guys are staying right now. That house, I furnished their bedrooms. The living room is completely empty. Like there's no chair, even one chair right now. And I told them, like, you know what, we have to start from somewhere, so that, when we feel that they're part of the process, when we add one chair, they're like, you know what, we know where we came from. I don't want you to come here and then the chair, everything is furnished, because it's a lot of money. If I already bought a whole house, all the money went to the house. So the living room does not have any chairs right now. If I go there and then we're having a talk, we sit on the floor. I sit on the floor. The boys sit on the floor. We have a conversation that way. We don't have a chair. They understand money right now is tight. So whatever you donate or whatever you help us with will help. Like we'll show you, we'll buy a chair. We're like, you know what? People donated and we put a chair there or a table there, or they have cups. I bought cups and pans and pots because they need to eat. And then I bought like, a TV for their rooms and a bed and covers. But then the living room, hopefully when I go there, I'll do a video over there, because it's blank. Like no carpet. There's just carpeting on the floor that comes with the house. But then there's no like pictures on the wall. There's nothing. We just sit down, and if we have to eat, we sit and eat on the floor. So whatever you donate goes a long way. We'll get them some chairs and all that stuff. So let me just jump to the mailing address so we can try to complete that. Just give me 1 second. Let me pull the application. And then I will share my screen. So we just do the mailing address, and then I think that should be the end of today's live. Okay, begin entry. 5. Okay, let me share my screen. Let me see if I remember how to do that. How do I? Oh, there you go. Share screen. Okay. I hope you can see that. I don't know if you can see it from your end. Let's see. So I'm going to show you how to complete the mailing address. Let's see. I don't know if it's showing from your end there. Okay, so when you're completing the mailing address, care of is for somebody. Like if somebody is taking your mail, care of is like somebody else is in charge of your mail. So this is for people who don't have mailing address. And when I was in Kenya, I did not have a post office box. So you can use like your school. Like for example, we can say, what school? Pangani Girls, yeah? Is that? Pangani Girls. So this is like the school. So you can say Pangani Girls High School, and then I'm just gonna make up, the numbers. So let me make it bigger. Let's see. So you say Pangani Girls High School, and then address 1 is, like if you want to put a PO box. So PO box will be under address 1. So you'll say PO box, maybe 233. This is not an accurate one, but then your PO box will be here. So care of is Pangani Girls. That's at the school or the church or whatever where you're getting your mail from. And then PO box is the PO box address for that Pangani Girls. And then Pangani Girls is in Nairobi, and then the district and province is Nairobi. And then the postal code for Nairobi is 00100. A lot of people I've seen, they've said that, that the postal code is 254 or the zip code is 254 or 256. That is a phone code. That's a telephone code. If I want to call Kenya, I'll start with +254. That is not a postal code. That's not a zip code. So the way to find a zip code, you just, you type it on Google, zip code for wherever you live, and then it will bring it up. So Nairobi, if you Google, it's going to tell you 00100. And then you go to a country, Kenya. So we'll go down and select Kenya. Where is it? And then you select Kenya. So that's how you complete your mailing address. So this is when you have like somebody taking the mail for you. If you're taking your own mail, or maybe you're like, doing your own mail, you have your own PO box address, you don't need to put Pangani. So in care of, you leave that blank. So you'll just say your PO box, maybe your PO box is whatever, we can just put some numbers there. So you leave the care of blank. You say PO box, Nairobi, zip code, and then Kenya. If you do not have a zip code, because there's areas with no zip code, you will check this box here that says no postal code. And if you say no postal code, this box here will be left blank. You'll have to leave it blank. So that's how you fill a PO box address when you're like in Kenya. So either you put care of for somebody else, or if you are like, you're taking your own mail, you can put the PO box here and leave the care of blank. So let's do a PO box of somebody who is in America. Let's see. So if you're in America and you want to complete the PO box, because you can complete this application when you are like a student in a university. Let's say you have a student, you're a student in a university. I'll use the school that I came, so Principia College. So you'll put that in line 1. And then the address is, I don't remember, maybe 1 Maybeck something. I don't remember. And then the city is in Elsa, I think. Province, Illinois. And then the zip code, let me Google. So let's say zip code for, okay, so the zip code is 62028. So we can put 62028. So, and then here you're going to say United States of America. I don't know if it's going to be here. Yep. United States. So when I apply for my green card, so this is how I typed the address, because I was already in America. I didn't use my Kenyan address. I was here, living here. I was receiving mail here. So I just typed care of Principia College, 1 Maybe Place, Elsa, Illinois, 62028. And then it's in the United States. So that's how you fill an address in the United States. If you're in school, if you have an address, like maybe a home address, then you don't need to put like the school. So we'll just put like, let's try an address in the United States. So we'll say, so address 1, you can say 28 Hillside Street. And then the city, you can say what? Like Liverpool even. Liverpool, and then state is in New York. And then Liverpool, let me Google again. I said if you want a zip code, you just Google. New York, zip code, and is 13088. So we're going to put 13088. And then in this case, you don't put care of, because this is your address. And then so for line 2, it says optional, because you do not need to fill anything in line 2. Why? Because with line 2, it's for if you have an apartment number. If you have an apartment number, you have like a building number, then it goes there. So for example, apartment 2, maybe Hillside is an apartment, and then my apartment is apartment 6. So apartment 6 will go in line 2. Or maybe you have a building. You can say building 1. That's your address 2. Or maybe you have a floor. You can say floor 3. So that's what goes in line 2. If you're unsure, just leave it blank. So this is how you complete the mailing address. Okay. Any questions? Let me see if you have any last questions, and then I'm just going to sign out. I think I've been live for an hour. That's way too long. So let me see this one. I selected high school degree. So they have a diploma in nursing. Yeah, so Teresa, if you go to the embassy, they ask you nursing, you're going to do nursing, but you have a high school degree, so that's okay. So you qualify under high school degree. So when you come here, whatever you're going to do here, they don't care. As long as you have high school degree, they just ask you just for formality. Like you can come here and literally work at a grocery store. They don't care what you're going to do here. As long as you have qualifications, you're good. Unless they need like affidavit of support and you want to prove that, you know what, I'm a pilot and I'll get a job. I don't have affidavit of support, but then I'm a pilot. But in Kenya, there's still headache. They'll make you provide that, even if you're an engineer or you're a nurse or whatever. But then like that, it comes into place. Like if you want to prove that you don't need affidavit of support because you have a career that can do well in the United States. Other than that, you have high school, whether you come here, become a nurse, you come here, become a housewife, they don't care. All right, let's see. Let's see. This one. Huh? It's like below required. That definitely means ikieditiwa. Okay, I don't know what this means. But anyhow, I did a lot of pictures on, a lot of videos on photo requirements. So there's no reason why I should be submitting a photo that does not meet requirements. I have all that information on my channel. And then tomorrow I'm going to put a video to show you application from start to finish. So there's no reason why you should apply the wrong way or enter the wrong information or use the wrong image, because I already explained. And I have people, I have salty people out there. Some people are just like, they're just miserable. I don't know. Some people come to my channel. They're like, we're just tired of the DV lottery videos. Why are you doing these videos? I'm like, first, you came to my channel. I didn't come to yours. You found me. I didn't find you. Let's start there. Second, DV lottery is not for everybody. If you do not want to come to America, that's fine. You don't need to watch my videos if you don't want to apply for the DV lottery, correct? So you just choose whatever you want. So don't go to somebody, like if I go to somebody who's uploading a picture about a house tour, if I don't want to watch a house tour, what am I doing in her videos, right? So you watch if it benefits you, like it's not forced. I know I'm helping a lot of people. I was helped because somebody posted about a green card on their Facebook. I applied, I won, and now I'm an American citizen. So this information is going to help somebody there. If it doesn't help you, let it help other people. Leave other people alone. African people. Okay. So I think, so are you offering assistance with the application? Absolutely not. That's why I'm doing all these videos. I'm doing all these videos so that everybody, can you imagine if somebody helped me to apply the green card for the green card lottery? I wouldn't be helping you guys. I'm helping you guys because I did it myself, and that way I'm able to help other people. This green card is random selection, is about luck. Whether somebody applies for you or you apply for yourself, the chances of winning are same. So save your money, and apply for yourself. Like, don't just, unless somebody's taking your picture and you don't know, like, if it meets requirements and they'll edit it for you, then that's fine. But then just to put in an application, I'll post a video tomorrow. It's very easy. You just go put on your information, because guess what? Even if I apply for you, you will give me all that information. You'll tell me what your name is, what your date of birth is. You'll tell me the address. You'll tell me everything for me to type for you. And I say, for the green card lottery, you need to have high school. You went to high school, right? You did H plus O, whatever it becomes water, H2O. You are dealing with like characters here, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. You're balancing all those chemical equations. How can completing a simple application that asks you about you, like what is your name? Put your first name. Put your date of birth. Put if you're married or not. Do you need help with that, surely? Seriously, let's be real. So you can do your own application. Even if I do it for you or you do it, chances, if it's your time, it's your time. I'm telling you, if it's your time, it's your time. You'll win it 3 times even. So just place your own applications unless somebody's taking your picture. Okay. I think I'm done. And then somebody is saying, like, if people, the people who apply the first week have low chances. No. I didn't apply on the first day, but I applied the first week and I won. Like I said, Geoffrey applied on the 21st. Elia applied on the last day. Juma applied on the last week. It doesn't matter. It's a random selection. As long as you have the correct picture, so you're not getting disqualified and you get in the draw, guess what? Once they run the draw, and you are lucky, because you have to understand this is a draw. It's like a lottery. A lottery is bahati nasibu. If you don't know what that is, like, is in Kenya, they know what I mean. It's like sport pesa. So 20 million, count 20 million people apply. Like last year, 20 and 6 more zeros. 20 million people applied. They only select and they'll give visa to 55,000 out of 20 million. So this is just luck. If you win, you're like, God, this was me. It was you, So just apply and continue doing whatever you want to do with your life. Don't stop and be like, I'm going to start like selling stuff. I'm selling my house because next year I'm going to America. Just remember, 20 million people are thinking like you are thinking. Everybody thinks they're going to win. They only need 55,000. So as much as you're applying, keep your options open. And on my channel, like if you go, you'll find like I did videos on visitors visa. I do videos on student visas. I do videos on different visas, coming as registered nurses. Why? Because I know not everybody's going to win the green card lottery. So if you win, fine. If you don't, there's other ways to come to America. You can sneak in here as a visitor, and then you can change it to a green card, and I'll show you how to do that. So if you want to come to America, it just depends on research. Anything about America, not green card lottery. If you don't like to research, you're going to pay all these people who are going to scam you. Like, people are just like, NAFULA will pay you to apply. No. I even had, the way, like, I have a channel that deals with DV lottery. I got a deal with a big company. It was a Chinese and a Russian. they came up with a photo tool, and they wanted me to promote their photo tool, and they were going to pay me a lot of money. And I said no. Not because I don't need the money. This photo tool has just been launched. I talked with them a little bit. It's just been launched. It's something new. So what if I advertise it? Like, my videos have been watched over 1 million times on my channel. What if I advertise this photo tool and it doesn't work? What does that mean? Everybody who watched my videos and apply will lose a chance of winning. That's not what my goal is. That's not why I started my channel. I started my channel to help other people come to America, because when I was in Africa, trust me, I had relatives in America. Nobody told me how to come here, you know? So as much as I know money is important and all that, I know, like, I want to help as many people as I can. I didn't take that deal with the photo tool, but then I got a branding deal with some. God works in mysterious ways, you know? So I'll do the right thing, regardless of whether you guys are watching or not. So if you see anything like I promote on my channel, it's something that I've tested and it works. I don't promote anything that doesn't work. So I think that's it for today, guys. I think that's it for today. So unless anybody has any other question, last one, any? So hold on. Yeah, this is important. I'll just cover this real quick. So if a family win, can they come alone first to reduce some expenses? Absolutely, yes. So you can apply with your family, even if you're not coming with them. If you're married, make sure you include, your kids have to be included no matter what. Your spouse, you include them if you're married or not. I mean your spouse, if you're married, you include them. If you're not married, don't include them. But if you win, when you complete the DS260, you can just say, are you immigrating with them? You say no, and then you will not be asked to pay for their interview. You'll not be asked to, like, provide proof of anything for them, because you're not coming with them. And then once you get here, you can, after like 3 years, you can file for them, you know, and then they will be able to immigrate and come here. Your wife and your kids, they can immigrate here later. Another option is, you can, if you have the money and you don't have a host, you can go to the embassy and say you will immigrate with them. You go through the process, you pay for the visa fee, medical, because everybody who's coming, they'll have to pay interview, visa fee, everything. So you pay all that. And then after you pay, you can come here first. That visa is good for 6 months. So after 6 months, then it expires. So you make sure when you come here within 6 months, you have a job, you have everything, which is very hard to do. You have a job, and then your family can come. Because trust me, I love all of you. I love my African people, but I'm not hosting you with your 5 kids. I'm not paying that bill, because I have my own kids. So you give back to them is your responsibility. I can help you, and then you can figure out how to help your family. Okay. So I think that's for it's done for now. And I said, like, if you applied for hosting, don't bombard me with the emails, because I'm gonna get to you. So if you're 70,000, your interview is not until next year, whatever. So I'll reach out to you when the time is right, because I can't place you somewhere now when you're coming next year. I have to focus on people who are going to the embassy at this time. But I'll make sure I get you all covered. If I've hosted you before, or I've placed you somewhere, and I say, do not give my phone number to anybody. Do not give that phone number. Because if somebody reaches out to me and tells me, oh, can you host me? Somebody gave me your number. I will not look at it. I don't like corruption. In Kenya, probably I was corrupt when I was there. Now I do things differently. When you apply for hosting, you have to go through the website. You have to get on the waiting list. Whether you got my number or not, I'm not going to put you ahead of somebody who applied last year. No. I go, whether you're Kenyan, whether you are whatever. If it's my relative, then I'll make an exception, because, you know, like, my people, they'll be like, you remember that? So I don't want that. So if it's my relative, definitely I'll put them ahead of everybody. But then if everybody is a stranger, whether you're from Kenya, Ghana, Uganda, I have somebody from Fiji. I don't even know where that country is. So all those people, you get on the waiting list, and then I pick whoever is due, then I reach out to you. I won't get somebody who's number 247 ahead of somebody who applied last year and is number 50. So you have to just, you know, keep that in mind. And then with that, thanks for now. Like I said, you can send me super thanks. If you enjoy my content, you can send me, like, I need to join
what do you call it? I'm not on TikTok. I need to go on TikTok. People teach me because I'm not very good at the tap. You are like tap screen, send rose. I went there, I wanted to send a rose because I really liked what somebody was saying, and I didn't even know how to send a rose. You know, maybe I need to go on TikTok and say tap, take this one, tap screen. Hey guys, I don't want to, like, you know, bombard you with a lot of stuff. Bye for now, and I don't know if I'm gonna do another live, but if I do another live, it's gonna be next Tuesday. So next Tuesday, same time, I might do the last live for this green card application process, and then that's it. Bye for now, and thank you so much for watching. Share my channel. Let's get to 30,000 subscribers. Make sure you share my channel, like my videos, and thanks for watching, guys. Bye.